our elderly, an often neglected group, and that's why I'm so happy for this today. A lot of things you find that you are not able to do for yourself. And even when you're somewhat active, it's an age group that a lot of persons, the activity level, it has decreased. You're now shutting, coming from being an active community member. Some of you can't go to church anymore or as often as you used to. Some of you used to go to the shop and you greet everybody on the road and that was therapy. You can't do that anymore. And as such, a lot of times, our elderly population, they fall into depression. And some of them that die is not just that, boy, they get old and dead. Death comes because they have sunken into depression. Church is therapy. Walking out to the shop and talking to Miss Jane and Matt John on the way to and from, that is therapy. Therapy is not just going to the psychologist and going to the doctor. So when they can't do that as much, it impacts them. And initiatives like these, it's important because I know that it makes you feel appreciated. Yeah. And if coming here today you felt a little bit down, I know that your spirit has been lifted. So initiatives like these are things that we have to continue to do. Not necessarily to come into the classroom, but I know Pastor Barnett and Pastor Reverend Tucker, they go in with the shut-in, but they can't do it alone. So some of us who are more active will now need to be reaching out to them as the year goes by, because this will happen again next year. But in between that, those of us who can, we have to reach out to some members from our elderly population. And it's something I continue to do. My gift, my talent, apart from singing, is medicine. And I've been in communities that will check your blood pressure, rewrite prescription. I remember somebody, her daughter called and said, "Oh, we thank you so much for what we're doing." And they felt so grateful. In my head, all I was doing was writing a prescription. I just write on a piece of paper with a stamp that gives me some authority, and that was that for me. Never knew that someone would just be so grateful, pouring her heart out to her daughter. And then the other day, the daughter reached out to me again. What tell me this time? She said, "Mama, they're on the phone whole day, a message and called everybody." She's an 87-year-old. Campaigning for doctor. Just because of a prescription, I never write a prescription for her to campaign for me. I never give her a directive for her to campaign for me. That's just me doing community work. Yeah. So I understand the importance of the simplest of things. What we deem as being just trivial. It's a little ceremony, but they appreciate it. Yes. I go by a slogan, building our brighter tomorrow together. And the together in that is important because it takes a community. It's not Miss Hawes alone that did this. She had her team. It's not Mrs. Taylor alone. They had a team. I came here and it was a student that escorted me in. That is the power of community. That is the power of working together. So I'm happy to be here to celebrate with you. I have some of these initiatives as well lined up for December, and I'll continue to play my part. And I'm committing, I'm not giving a lot of figures here, but I'm committing to be here again next year and to support. But Dr. Brennan, I'm the senior, you can't charge more than him. He has been in it longer than me. That's true. Right? So, the simple things. My mother just recently retired, and when I saw the piece of paper that came as to what is supposed to be pension, I'm like, imagine you working a full salary. You can able to at least pay your light bill and buy food and survive even though you're living paycheck to paycheck. But when you move from that salary to a pension, I can tell you, and I'm going to figure out the pension cannot pay per monthly light bill. So when you move from earning a salary, so I am saying to myself, that is something that I will have to pick up that slack and make sure that she's taken care of. But what happens to that elderly person who doesn't have a child that is in a position to do that? Who doesn't have a child at all? And since I saw that, it puzzled me and it bothers me. Because my hope and dream would be that as an elderly person, when you retire, you'd at least be able to take care of yourself. But when you move from earning a salary, even when it's not much, to what I see as pension, it worries me and it bothers me. So for those of us who can continue through initiatives to help, I'll continue to help you save on some medical bills for some of those elderly persons. And we'll continue to support initiatives like these from outside Parliament and inside Parliament when I go there. But I thank you for having me. I thank you for having me. I want to say to all of our guests here today that we're celebrating you because your life matters. Yes. We're celebrating you because even though you are older now, you are still a part of building the future that this country needs, that this country deserves. Don't feel despondent. Don't believe that your importance has expired. It has not. The lessons I get from elderly persons continue to guide me through life. Sometimes I'm at work and they hear me randomly mention Miss Essie and Miss Nettie and Miss Cathy and Miss Cassie and Mastro, and they don't know what I'm talking about. But the lessons, the life lessons, they continue to impact me even though all those persons have passed away. We celebrate you because you are special. God made you special. God made you special, for there's no other who's just like you. Special you are. Thank you for having me. I'm sorry I have to.